We will start in just. There are some people who are still trying to log in. I'm getting messages. So just give us 2-3 minutes and we will begin shortly. Okay, we'll be back. Right, it'll be nice to see some videos on. How many of you are pranic healers? How many of you understand the power of full moon meditations? While we are waiting for some of the others to join in, who would like to share? And it'll be nice also to understand where you're joining in. Hi, Mooks, how are you? How's Pune?
It's good. Pune is good. Thank you.
Good weather. Delhi,
Yes, not little
Delhi was nice.
hot is there. Yeah, but it's better. Thank you.
Hi, Seema, you're a Reiki healer, okay? AY Prep, Mumbai. All right, good. So, I did send the mail. We did send the mail again. So I hope everybody's gotten it. But anyway, I've also shared the open link for the Zoom. So those of you, if you want to invite other people, just share the link and password with them and they should be able to come. Because the session is open to all. We've not kept a joining criteria for it as such. Okay. And yeah, I'll just start in a moment. From Chennai, thank you for joining in. So how many of you already know this topic? I mean, it's a very important topic now, especially the the importance of the next 3 full moons. And one of the full moons is happening tomorrow. Okay, so let me just start the recording and it's already recording, I think. You don't know this topic. All right, good, good. We will be sharing about it very soon. Okay, so let's start. It's I think 8:35. We should start, and I'd like to start and end on time. So let's start with a small prayer. Please close your eyes, put your hands on the heart, or if you want to just open your hands, just keep your hands open. Think of whichever God you pray to, whichever God you believe in, or whichever guru you believe in. That is okay. The Supreme Divine Being, we thank you for your priceless blessings, for divine guidance, divine help, and divine protection. Thank you for blessing this session and all the people who will be watching this session at all levels with a deeper understanding of the topic that we are going to address. Thank you, thank you, thank you. In full faith, so be it. Take a deep breath Smile, open your eyes. So, good evening, everyone. My name is Neena. I'm a pranic healer from Delhi. I stay near Delhi. And I've been into pranic healing for the last 19 years. I'm also a trained physiotherapist, a trained posture alignment specialist. And I've worn different hats, but training, learning, and teaching have been a constant in my life. Um, Today's topic is full moon meditations, and whatever I'm going to be sharing with you comes from most of my learning from the Pranic Healing School. The Pranic Healing School is a school that was founded by Master Choa Kok Sui, who was a Filipino of Chinese origin, and he formed and founded the school called Pranic Healing and Arhatic Yoga. It's an energy school. It's a school where we use energy and the understanding of the human energetic anatomy to heal. But not only just in healing, it is also there are teachings which cover spiritual aspects. There are teachings that cover the aspects of manifesting prosperity in your life, relationship healing, and a deeper understanding of spiritual teachings. Okay, so the topic today is full moon meditations, simply because we are nearing a full moon that is very important. So normally in the year, there are 13 full moons, if I'm not wrong, right? And according to the Hindu calendar, let me just share my screen right now. Can you all see my screen now? Yes, no? All right, thank you. So uh, first and foremost, let me ask you a simple question. Why should one meditate in the first place? You know, meditation is something that everybody says is good for stress relief, etc., etc. But why should one meditate in the first place? Would you write down your answers in the chat, or if you want, you can. This is an interactive session, so please feel free to unmute yourself one by one if you want to share something, or just put it in the chat. Why, if you meditate, why do you meditate?
To get some clarity.
To get clarity, okay, to connect to the higher soul. What else? To channelize our thought process, to connect yourself, okay,
To
for
experience
calmness,
peace and calmness.
experiencing peace and calmness. Now, basically, meditation in itself as a practice has several benefits, like some of you said, to connect with your higher soul, to experience peace and calmness. Actually, if you see, it has benefits on different levels. There are physical benefits, there are emotional, mental benefits. Now, some of these benefits, if I was to take them up one by one, you know, let's say the physical benefits, okay? You have a healthier body, right? It actually, when you meditate, it has been shown that blood pressure can be lowered. It can reduce the strain on the heart. You have a stronger immune system. Okay, studies have been done and they suggest that people who meditate, their immunity is better. Inflammation gets reduced in the body. There is better physical health. There is increased energy levels. And overall, the physical body benefits from it. But more than that, it is also the emotional, mental health that gets better. So there is less stress and anxiety. If you have less stress and anxiety, you have less, what you say, stress hormones running in your bloodstream. You are more relaxed and calm. That means there is more focus and concentration. There is more self awareness. Your mood is better. You're happier. And obviously, if all of this is happening, you will have better sleep quality. If your sleep is good, obviously, there is more time for the body to heal and repair. Sleep is, I think, in today's world, one of the most underrated healing modalities that is there, right? And when you are calmer and more at peace, then in general, your relationships improve, right? Because you will be more patient with other people. So there are so many benefits of meditating, right? Now, when you meditate regularly, that is a good thing. But even if you don't, let's say you don't meditate regularly, there are certain high peak energy times during the year which give you extra benefit when you meditate. And these certain high peak times are special days. One of those is the full moon time. why is it considered to be a high peak time to meditate and a good practice to meditate when it is full moon time? What happens at full moon time? I'll just share that. Again, let me share my presentation with you. Now, when there is full moon, it effectively means that, of course, there is meditation as world service. I'll come back to that. But why meditate specifically during the full moon times? A full moon occurs when the moon has moved and the earth is between the moon and the sun, right? So every few days, you have the new moon rising, you have, you see all the different crescent moons going into full moon, and this whole cycle continues. But when it is full moon, what is happening is that the earth is receiving energy in a double dose. It is receiving energy from the sun and it is receiving energy from the full moon also. So the moon is getting also the energy from the sun, but the earth is getting energy not only from the sun, but also from the full moon. So there is a double dose of energy during full moon time. And full moons have been connected with a lot of emotional energy. You will notice, and this is not, just something like that, you can actually verify it, that during full moon time, and that's why they talk about lunacy, lunatics. Luna is connected with the moon. So during full moon time, because there is that extra dose of energy, especially on the emotional body, people, whatever they have in their emotional mental body, that gets more magnified. During full moon time, you will normally notice that people are more emotionally charged. Now, usually the ordinary person, what kind of emotions do they have? What kind of thoughts are they having? It's usually a lot of, I won't say all, but many people are mostly worried about things that are not working properly in their life, you know. So that emotion gets heightened. Mostly people are impatient. How many people do you know who are very calm, very patient all the time? So usually people are impatient. So that gets heightened. So usually you will ask, if you go to a hospital ER, I used to work in hospital, the emergency room will have more patients during full moon times. There are more accidents during full moon times. At home, in many places, if you start noticing, it is around the full moon time, there will be more fights. There will be more arguments. Okay. Now, this is connected with that heightened energy. Now, this energy, because it is the way it is, it will actually fertilize and heighten and exaggerate whatever is already there. So, if you have peaceful energies, you can actually feel more peace. If you have more agitating energies, you'll feel more agitated during this time. So, spiritual people across the globe, across different spiritual schools, actually take advantage of the full moon time to heighten their experience of meditation. And now, more and more, group work and group meditations are becoming very important. So, different schools, again, across the globe, not just our school of pranic healing and arhatic yoga, they actually advocate and encourage people and tell them, hey, try and meditate in a group, and especially try and meditate in a group during full moon time. So that is why if you any of you read some of the esoteric books, and especially Alice Bailey was one of these very well known people. She actually says that use meditation as a form of world service. So the effect, I'm just reading her quote, the effect of human meditation at the time of the full moon is to change conditions, to invoke the higher spiritual potencies, and to work with concentration both vertically and horizontally within the world of humanity, that is within the human world, and also within the realm of God or the kingdom of God. Now, this vertical horizontal movement, it holds the secret of creative meditation. It is invocative and evocative at the same time. So, invocative is when you invoke for God's blessings or the blessings of the higher being. Evocative is what evokes a change within you. All right. And this combination on invocative and evocative movement, don't worry about that too much, actually works magic. Now, our teacher, Master Choa Kok Sui, who was the founder of modern pranic healing and Arhatic yoga, used to say, when 7 people sit down and meditate together at one time, they actually manage to garner and harness the energy of 100 people meditating separately or individually. So when you meditate in a group of 7 people or more, the effect is actually multiplied. So if it's 7 people or 14 people, then 21 people, more like that, 7 or more people will actually keep multiplying the effect more and more and more. And therefore, people can benefit. And when you bring down that much energy, you can actually use that energy to bless a family, a city, an entire nation, and indeed the whole world. I don't know if some of you must have heard of what we call the critical mass. There was this experiment, you might have heard about it. Some of the Japanese scientists did it. Again, it's an experiment. If you like, you can Google it and you'll find it. They noticed that in a certain island in Japan, one of the islands, Japan has many islands. They noticed that certain monkeys had this, behavior. The younger monkeys, in fact, what they started doing was they would take these sweet potatoes which would fall, which they would pick up, and they would instead of eating them directly from the sand, or some fruits, they would just wash them first and then eat them. And they noticed that on different islands, there were different groups of monkeys and all that, but this one group of monkeys on that island, they started doing this behavior of washing the fruit or the potatoes or whatever they were eating before eating it. And from the younger monkeys, the older monkeys learned it, so on and so forth. And they called it the 100th monkey experiment. They noticed that once the 100th monkey on that particular island had started copying that behavior, literally overnight, groups of monkeys across all the islands started doing the same thing. And they called it the critical mass, which meant that once they had reached a critical mass, there was a change in the entire monkey consciousness. Even islands which were not connected to each other directly, across islands, all the monkeys started copying that behavior. So what they said, and then they did several other experiments. There's actually a very nice documentary which has been anchored by Morgan Freeman, who talks about this critical shift in consciousness. Now, also the spiritual schools which sit together and try and do meditation, especially on full moon, the attempt is that when a lot of people sit down and meditate and bless Mother Earth at the same time with the energies of peace and calmness, there is change. It's been noted in certain areas where people do regular meditation, the crime rate in that area goes down. It's been documented in several places. And the main aim of several schools is to reach that critical mass. Why does that give us hope? Because even though we are 7 billion people in the world, or a little more than 7 billion, not all 7 billion people need to make that change. It's that critical mass number that we need to reach. If we reach that critical mass number of people thinking in a different manner, it will create that change. It's like just a little bit of light is enough to do away with a lot of darkness. In a room, in a very, very dark room, you just take a little torchlight, and that has a tendency to light up the whole room. Similarly, a small group of people can create change. So that is why she says that you can actually use meditation as a form of world service. There were further experiments done by another scientist called Masaru Emoto. You can Google that also. He's no longer there now. He passed away a few years ago, who did experiments on water by projecting sound on water, writing down words on water, and then he would, freeze them and look at them under the microscope, and he noticed that the molecular structure of water was changing. So he actually did this experiment where he put, for example, the word war, and the molecules exploded. He put on some Tibetan chants, and the molecules rearranged them almost in a perfect molecular snowflake-like structure with a golden tinge. He used the chant of Om. One of our pranic healers from Australia, Dr. Hazel Varda, had collaborated with Masaru Emoto, and distantly actually projected energy to the water molecules that were under the experiment. And when he put them under the microscope, their molecular structure had rearranged itself into a perfect snowflakes type of style. So you think about it, if with just projecting energy of peace and love in water, you can change. Water has memory, they say. You can change the way the water molecules are arranging themselves. Your human body is 70% water, not just the human body. The entire earth is mostly water. So if a large enough group of people project that energy towards earth, you can heal the earth. Towards yourself, you can heal yourself. This is one of the principles that can be used, and one of the advantages of doing meditation. And you can use that energy to heal yourself, to heal a group of people, to heal a city, to heal a nation, to heal the entire earth. And that is why not take advantage of that extra added and bonus energy during the time of the full moons? Does it make sense? Okay. So it's a great thing to meditate every day, but it is even more beneficial to meditate, especially during full moons, and even more beneficial if during the full moon, especially, you meditate in a large group. In our school, we follow the meditation on twin hearts. It's a 20-minute meditation. Those of you who would like to learn, there are several. If you go to worldpranichealing.com, there are several online meditations which are taught free. You can just, meditation timings right from 6 o'clock in the morning till almost 10 o'clock in the evening. There is a meditation slot happening in, I think, 6 different languages. So you can choose your time, you can choose this thing, and you can actually experience the benefit of the meditation on twin hearts. Now, the next thing that I would like to talk about in today's talk actually was not just meditation, but not just meditating during full moon, but also about the 3 most important full moons of the year. So every full moon is great because there is that added bonus energy that you're getting. The sun's energy is coming directly to the earth. It is also coming reflected from the moon back to the earth. So that is, it's like a double dose, like I said. But apart from that, there are 3 special full moons in the year, which are very, very important. And the first one is going to happen tomorrow morning. It is, these 3 full moons are the full moons of Easter, the one that is going to happen tomorrow morning. I think the exact peak time of the full moon in India is 5:20 a.m., if I'm not wrong. Then the next one is supposed to be the most important full moon of the year. It's called the full moon of Vesak, or the Taurus full moon. And then after that, you have the full moon of Gemini, which is the full moon of goodwill. Okay. Now, in the spiritual school, we normally talk about 3 aspects. It's there in all schools. You have Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva in the Indian Trinity. You have the love aspect, the wisdom aspect, the will aspect of God. Each of these full moons actually correspond to one aspect. And to be a whole person, you need all these 3 aspects balanced in your life. When you have all of these 3 aspects balanced, that is when you really, are able to, you can say, achieve many, many things. So, yeah, if we have time, we can also do a short meditation. I'm happy to take the group through a meditation. Okay. So the full moon, that is coming up tomorrow, which is the Aries full moon, is the first of the most important full moons of the year. It's actually a full moon that helps us prepare for the most important full moon of the year, which is the festival of Vesak. So the full moon Aries actually brings down a lot of will energy, but it actually enhances the love aspect. It, in the Christian tradition, they say Easter is the time when Jesus Christ was resurrected, and the love energy, it basically is the energy of compassion, of healing again. Our teacher would always say, it is love that heals. So at this time, they say the nature of God's love is more emphasized. Okay. Then after this, the full moon of Vesak is supposed to be the festival of Buddha. They say that Buddhists believe that Lord Buddha was born, he attained enlightenment, and he attained samadhi on this same day. So Lord Buddha is supposed to be the embodiment of light and wisdom. It is the full moon. It is the time when the energies are such that all veils are removed from your eyes. So it is the time when there is extreme clarity of thought, extreme wisdom. And the last full moon, the full moon of Gemini, is supposed to be the full moon of goodwill, where it is a time to align and realign the human will with the divine will. Now, the festival of Vesak, as many of you would know, is very important. It's called the wish fulfilling full moon. It's supposed to be a time when, if you have a certain wish list and if you've prepared yourself properly, your wishes are granted. Because they say at the time of Vesak, in a certain valley, the valley of Vesak actually, in a certain place which is not really known to openly to many people, somewhere in the Himalayas, there is this valley where Lord Buddha actually descends from where he is and comes very close to Mother Earth for a window of 8 minutes. And in those 8 minutes, he showers his blessings on the earth, which these blessings are collected and taken by certain spiritual heads. I'm not talking about spiritual gurus. There are certain spiritually highly developed souls who go and meet and gather in the valley of Vesak. They take this, and then some of this energy is released every full moon. So that is another reason why it is a good idea to actually meditate together during full moon. Okay, so basically, all these benefits come when we are meditating together during the full moon. All right, are we clear so far? Any questions on this? Any comments, any questions? Please let me know. All right, great. Now, so as you meditate in a group, meditation will be much better if you're better prepared for it. Obviously, whenever we have to do something, it works much better if you are properly prepared for doing that. So how do you prepare yourself to gain maximum benefit from a meditation session, any meditation session? First and foremost, your channels should be pure. So the first thing when you start preparing yourself for a meditation, it's a good practice to purify yourself physically, etherically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, on different levels. How do you purify yourself physically? By eating, for example, the right food, not eating foods that make the body heavy. A lot of this knowledge you can also get on the Lucis Trust. That's a site which talks about especially the 3 full moons. And they say the spiritual aspirants, they start preparing themselves literally months before the festival of Vesak to make sure that they can take maximum energy. It's like this. If your energy channels are clean, there is the possibility of more energy passing through you. If the energy channels are not clean and there are blockages, energy will not be able to find. Think about a pipe that has a blockage or is totally twisted. Energy will not flow as easily. So one of the ways of purifying yourself is being very watchful of the food you eat. Now, if you look around this time across the world, across religions, they have the practice of fasting. I think the Muslims have just finished with Ramzan. The Christians have Lent. The Indians have Navratras. So it is not something new. The practice of fasting is a way of purifying your physical body. It's also a way of disciplining the mind, of course. So it also helps in purifying your mental, emotional bodies to some extent. So one way of making sure that the physical body is purified to some level is eating the right food. So if you can fast, it is really great. If not, at least try and, at least in this period, try and stick to a vegetarian diet or stick to more fresh fruits and vegetables. That's a good idea to do, especially 2 days before the day of the full moon and 2 days after that. And if you can do that for the entire period from now till Vesak, even better. Then you should exercise. When you exercise, the body sweats, people perspire. The perspiration actually has a cleansing effect on the body's energy channels also. So you make sure that you don't have a sedentary life, you actually do exercises. In fact, when we do the meditation on twin hearts, we are told to first exercise and then we do the meditation. We don't just, do the meditation straight away. Then emotionally and mental purification is achieved by having the right thoughts. So practicing right thinking. Now, You'll say it's not possible to constantly control your thoughts. Agreed. It's not impossible. It is difficult, but it is not entirely impossible. If you're actually aware of what thoughts are crossing your mind, as you become more aware, you also become more mindful and more selective of the thoughts that you want to leave in your body. Like I said in the beginning, whatever you have in your body will get magnified during I'm talking about the energy body, right? Will get magnified during the full moon time. So, what is it that you want to magnify? Do you want to magnify the energy of peace and calmness? You you try and cultivate more of peace and calmness. Okay. If you have a lot of irritation in the body, that will get magnified. So how do you do that? You practice awareness. In the school, when you come and attend workshops, even in the entry level workshops, we are actually taught in a step by step manner how to be more mindful and aware. Because our teacher would always say, Master Chua would always say, without awareness, there can be no change, there can be no transformation. So right from the basic workshop, or we have another entry level workshop, which is called Achieving Oneness with a Higher Soul workshop, you're actually taught in certain steps, we call it character building, based on the 5 virtues, how to be more mindful and aware, and then how to change your thinking process step by step. It doesn't happen overnight. It is a process. You need to be obviously patient, but that is taught in a very, very simple, easy to follow manner. And if you do that, uh, you will actually notice in a few months that you start changing. Your thought processes start changing. You become much more calmer and peaceful. Okay. So you have to also purify yourself emotionally and mentally. It's called practicing emotional mental hygiene. And another way, of course, is to practice the meditation on twin hearts. Like I said, if we have time, I think we will have time. We will do a short meditation in the next 5 minutes. Those of you who are interested are welcome to stay and join in for the meditation. Okay, that is, you start by practicing purification. Then you participate in group meditations. Now, what happens in group meditations, I've already shared with you that the energy is multifold. So by putting in little effort, your return on investment is magnified. Why not do that? Now, because your energy is high, it is a good idea to have your wish list ready. You can actually, and there is no limit to writing your wishes. You write down and prepare your wish list. And after every meditation, you bless your wishes, but not only your own wishes, you also bless the wishes of everybody else in the group. Again, it is a win-win. What you give, you will get back. What you plant, what you sow, you shall reap. If you're sending blessings to thousands of people, what is going to come back to you? That many blessings. If you're blessing thousands of people with their wish fulfillment, what will come back to you? Your wish fulfillment. So it's a very, very simple, easy to do thing. Another thing, now just wishing and blessing is not enough by itself. You also need to have something called karmic entitlement. You need to be entitled to receive all of that. How do you create karmic entitlement? By donating and doing service. Now, in our school, we don't say, Master would never really say, donate to me. He would say, just donate, give. Give to people who are in need. Give to people who need that help. If you know people in your society, in your group, in your circles who need some help, you donate to them. As long as you're sure that uh, donating also is an art, you should donate wisely. And then do service. How do you do service? There are umpteen ways of doing service. You can heal people, you can feed the hungry, you can simply provide a listening ear to someone who needs to speak out. You can just be a good human being and help by just lending a listening ear at times. If there are some skill sets that you have which somebody else can use, you can share those skill sets. There are a million ways to do service. So as you do service, as you donate, you create more and more good karma, which means you create the entitlement for your wish fulfillment. And of course, like I said, bless, 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 bless. The more blessings you send out to the world, to people, the more blessings you will be entitled to receive back, because what you send out in the energy world comes back to you many, many times. And in fact, in the meditation on twin hearts that we follow in this school, that is what we do. We actually bless people. We bless the entire earth, actually, and that blessing then comes back. So if you want to prepare for the full moons, and especially the next 3 full moons, there's still time if you've not been doing it. Tomorrow morning, World Pranic Healing Foundation is actually holding an open for all meditation at the peak time. For the people who've done Arhatic Yoga, it starts at 4 o'clock, 4:20, I think. But the people who have not done Arhatic Yoga or not done any other class, they can actually attend that meditation at 5:20 a.m. and participate in that. But don't worry if you can't get up that early. The effect of the full moon will remain. And then there is, of course, Vesak, which is coming up in May. You have time to prepare yourself for that powerful meditation. Start writing your wish list, start working on doing some purification mindfully, and, making sure that you can take full advantage of the full moon. Okay. And yeah, that's the short talk. And we have the time to do some meditation. If you would like to do the meditation, then we can do that now. Yeah. Mux, can I request you, do you have the link? Can you put it in the chat for the meditation? Otherwise, I'll just have a look at it and I'll find it. You will find
Yeah,
the link.
just checking. Yeah, I'm just checking. I had shared it. I'm just checking for it.
I'm also putting it here. worldpranichealing.com is the website. You can definitely go there. The link should be there as well. And then the meditation, which is open to all MOOCs, will just share that link. Seema, you have your hand up. Do you have a question?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. I have a question.
Yes.
Actually, I want to do a ritual on full moon and I don't have clarity about it. That's why I want to ask about it. Uh, can I speak in Hindi?
Please go ahead.
Okay.
बताइए।
एक्चुअली आज मैंने ना लुई सी का एक वीडियो देखा उसमें उन्होंने लिखा था कि अपने पिल्लो में आप अपना विश लिस्ट लिख दो और पेपर में लिख दो और उसको अपने पिल्लो के नीचे रखना है फुल मून के टाइम पर एंड वो मैनिफेस्ट होता है तो ये जो रिचुअल है इसको प्रोसेस कैसे करना है फुल डिटेल मुझे चाहिए था इसका
Now, the thing is कि हमारे स्कूल में ये रिचुअल नहीं फॉलो होता है हमारे स्कूल में. सो डिफरेंट स्कूल्स हैव डिफरेंट एनर्जीज. आप कर सकते हैं अगर करना चाहें, आपने सीखा है कहीं और से. हमारे स्कूल में बड़ा सिंपल है. अगर आपके पास उतना एनर्जी एंटाइटलमेंट है और अगर आपके पास क्लैरिटी ऑफ थॉट है, आप अगर किसी पौधे को सही जगह पे प्लांट करेंगे, और आई विल ऑल्सो एक्सप्लेन दिस इन इंग्लिश इन अ मोमेंट. अगर आप किसी पौधे को सही जगह पे प्लांट करेंगे, उसको सही फर्टिलाइजर देंगे, उसको सही ध्यान देंगे, तो क्या वो पौधा अच्छे से पनपेगा नहीं? तो उसका फल जो होगा वो अच्छा ही होगा. Now, what she's
बिल्कुल
asked, she's talked about a certain ritual that she read about, and she said, write down a wish list, put it under the pillow, and it gets manifested. Probably it does, but that is not what we follow in our school. We follow a very simple thing in our school. You have to have the energetic power to manifest something. You have to have the energetic karmic also entitlement to manifest something. Now, the more energy you have, the right kind of energy that you have, the easier it is to manifest things. Manifestation is nothing but, having the right energy, the right conditions, and the right objective. It's just that. So you prepare yourself to have all of that by doing certain practices. All right. So, especially during the full moon of Vesak, it is believed that the full moon of Vesak is actually dedicated to Lord Buddha and to Buddha Kuan Yin, who is supposed to be, the wish fulfilling Buddha. So at that time, they say many people have shared this experience that whatever they wished for, if they had written it and then they blessed that, it manifested. Okay. But like I was saying, if you really want to increase the chances of your manifestation, follow these simple steps. Purify yourself. Do service. Do donation. Bless, meditate in a group. Bless everybody else's wishes also. Have your energy body right and, ready to channelize that energy to be able to manifest your wish. It is so simple. Okay. So If you're all ready to do a quick, very short meditation, I'll guide you through it. I'm going to stop the recording here because we don't need to record that meditation, but I'll quickly guide you through it. I would just request everyone to stand up and do some simple body exercises, just shake and, just move a little, because it's always the Twin Hearts meditation. Very simply, if I was to explain it, it works on two centers. One center is your heart center. The other center is your crown center. The heart center is right where your heart is. The crown center, which is supposed to be the entry point of divine energy, is on the top of your crown. It works on these two centers. When these two centers get aligned, the divine energy that pours into your body, it has a very cleansing effect on a third center, which is the solar plexus center, where a lot of stress and emotions are stored. So that cleansing effect flushes out all the stress from your solar plexus, and then the energy moves easily through all the energy centers. The benefit is you are calmer, you're more peaceful, you have more energy. It becomes a healing meditation. And then because you're blessing the entire earth, you're sending out blessings, you become entitled also to receive those blessings. It's a guided meditation. It's a very short meditation. And because it is guided, most people are able to follow it quite easily. So if you're open to it, if you're ready, my suggestion is just stand up, do some shaking exercises, just do some exercise, and I will be back with the meditation in just a moment. I'll just set up the session for the meditation. I'll share the link. Okay. And then at the end of the meditation, since we have some time, we will do a group blessing for all the wishes and everyone here. Already the energy is high because we are nearing full moon time. So it's a good time to meditate, and we are about 30 plus people here. Okay. So I'm just going to pause the recording here. Please stand up and do some shaking, do some exercises, and we can then start with the guided meditation.